Okay, the item number 3, I guess each one of you all probably had a hand-delivered copy of the draft budget of the detention center. Again, this is a draft budget, and there's several things, I guess, that, Barry, you might want to briefly address, although I think they probably, if they reviewed it, know that this is the grant you requested, and there's some other things that will impact, the bottom line as you projected before. So this is still a work in motion.
I promised the county treasurer that I would not project any of the positive part of it, projections on it. I mean, realistically, we've seen what happened this past year with the state government. And here we're sitting talking about state government again. When the state government makes a move to reduce their budget issues, and it's the focus on particular counties is not actually their top priority. I will have to say, and what I'd like to make a comment is that the county judge and myself have on 2 occasions went to Frankfurt, met with the governor's office, chief of staff, as well as we met with the Secretary of Justice and the Department of Corrections Commissioner, LaDonna Thompson. And then on 2 other occasions, I have had the opportunity twice to testify to legislation on what's going on in Marion County, as well as for evidence-based beds. Both of our Senator Higdon and Representative Mills, I think the judge can vouch for all 4 of us have been in meetings with DOC folks. We've been in meetings with legislators. I think that that actually started as soon as we seen the shortfall in the prisoner population, because of course April or May when I spoke with Steve Legg and them at the Enterprise, I mean there was no unforeseen reduction that was going to hurt the jail at that point, but it immediately started impacting us. But you have to say again, Senator Higdon, Representative Terry Mills, Judge Mattingly, and them had went along with me. They've spent time with me in Frankfurt. We have now, since the first of the year, and it started seeing it in December, but since the first of the year, our count has bounced back, looking like spring numbers did last year. At this given time, the numbers look good, but at the same time, I can't hand you a budget and say that we're going to blackline and have that possibility out there, because it's just Department of Corrections populations is up and down. And I've spoke with the parole board. There are a lot of cases that are of absconding issues that are happening with these community programs, even though that there's, again, good reports and studies been given on legislator sides of the point of view when it goes into the state budget. Just don't see it that way. I just say that it's going to be a tough road for them to come through with it. But right now, this is just I guess our legal obligation to have a budget submitted for the jail by April, so there's no actual need for approval of that budget. And we'll have to kind of sit back and see if we can tweak it, or maybe just hold on. And even if we're fortunate, which we should know in April if we're awarded the grant to fund some programs, to assist us with the funding of some of the programs.
Mr. Joe LaBrady, on the roof project, can you check into the interest rates you're paying on that lease? Well, on the roof lease.
The roof?
Well, you've got
the retractable roof.
Oh, yeah. Retractable roof. It's we're paying that. It's through Keiko, but yeah, we can check on that. Yeah,
because I'm sure it's fixed, but anyhow, I know that I don't know if we could amend it, but right now I know Keiko's rate's very low. 2.4%, 2.3. So
possibility of refinance.
Yeah, just save a little money. Try to help out a little bit. Yeah.
That too can affect some of our revenue come in too, Mr. L, because at that point, that's coming out of our commissary funds, which has taken a hit. When our numbers went down and we was 50 to 60 beds short last fall, not only do you lose those revenue beds, that revenue money, you lose the program incentive money, and you lose your phone revenue, your commissary revenues, and all of those actually drop. So I'll look at that as well.
I was talking to the Hardin County jailer this morning, and over in Hardin County, and their detention centers all across the state are feeling the same pains that we're feeling. It's pretty rough everywhere you go. It's
today I just received an email today. Senator Higgin chairs the Veterans Affairs and Public Safety Committee, and of course Senator Higgin I've had the opportunity to speak twice, testified twice in front of that committee. And he also called the Kentucky Jailers Association up to testify, and he called the commissioner up this morning to give some updates on the corrections. And she was kind of taken because she hadn't testified in front of that committee, but he spoke to me today. He plans on keeping the foot on the pedal all summer long.
You've done a good job.
are we looking for approval?
Yes, sir. Outstanding.
I don't think it
You do a
really
great job.
requires any approval at this point.
Just review.
We'll just review and
Just
kind
review and
of
basically
accept
get
it,
our
and
county budget
it's
set
embedded in
forward.
our budget, and if there's some changes we can make based on some funding that you see that might come in April, we still have time to revise it between now and the acceptance of the full county budget in June.
Sounds good.
Now,
Thank
y'all
you.
didn't get a copy of this, but I made a copy of the first 2 pages. There's a first year annual jail inspection, and shows, I did put that on your table there, no items of noncompliance. Again, I'll embarrass Barry, we got the best jailer in the state.
Absolutely. The
If we
very
just-
best in the
If we just
state.
had utilization by the state of all our resources here, what it's capable of doing, the whole process would be better. So
Well, I appreciate you, Judge, as well as the court, because again, guys, it's a consistent team of lobbyists that helps us.
I think we made some people aware of the asset we have here, and hopefully the need for them to use it more. So
I'm sure, Judge, when we stepped in those meetings and we're sitting there with four of us deep on one county, they was listening.
The military, and you take your federal and your Washington, just those 3 alone, you're talking $35,000.
Yes.
Jailer?
Thank you, Magistrate Taylor.
item number 4, this is really kind of just a cleanup. We, back in December the 5th, when Mike Shannon was here, he talked about some of the changes in the HBC rules. It was already on the books, but they just started looking to see counties become consistent and enforce it. And we approved at that time to follow the state rules, and all the cities in the county have agreed to allow the county inspection process to be adopted for their city inspections. And what you have in front of you is a little electrical inspection contract that Coy Need signed, saying that he would be responsible for the permitting. That was the real change, is that if the permits had to be issued, that he would do it. And he also had a copy of the fee schedule that was and is the same as what it was whenever we made this change. He did put in a $20 inspection or permit fee, and you'll see he's got electrical permit attached to that last page of that.
Motion to approve?
Just need to approve this process.
Second.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Masters?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Yeah, this template was actually provided by the state HBC as being compliant with, to meet their, I guess, KRS statute requirements, chapters 227, 227A. Okay, item number 5, this is just by timing, a requirement that the Soil Conservation Service had to submit their budget for us to review. Again, it's based on the amount that we had committed to them for the current fiscal year, and it actually is assuming that it's going to stay that way if no changes are made in the
Yeah, I guess
in the
that's a
taxing
question, is
district
that,
situation.
is the court planning on keeping it where it is, so.
Well, we won't have to address that question right now, I don't think, but this is just for us to review and to say we
Motion to
received it.
approve?
Second. Approving their budget.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at the $50,000 we're
currently providing.
I had a question with the budget that they actually gave us, one that they gave us last meeting. It's a big difference. Looks like it's
Well, that's
about,
only if we allow them to move forward with becoming a millage district.
Right.
And that proposed
was,
budget was if the court does move
actually,
forward.
it's the side-by-side numbers is what it is, and it's $120,000 difference in the,
But that was last week's presentation, based upon the court moving forward with allowing them to become a millage district.
okay.
Yeah, what-
It's not,
Yeah, what we're voting
This
on
is-
here is just the
right, I know.
50,000.
Pure budget.
Last time.
Oh,
That's what I'm
on
saying.
that, Yeah,
It's not the same.
but we ain't touching.
That's right.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, item number 6, there's a couple of resolutions that Senator Higdon and actually Representative Mills have both proposed identical resolutions. One's a House resolution, one's a Senate resolution, and one relates to the naming of the Manton Bridge in memory and honor of Sister Sabadelia Hughes. She's the one that asked and petitioned, if you read the whole resolution, Happy Chandler to put in a bridge to make it easier for students to cross.
What was her first name, Judge?
Sister Sabadelia.
I didn't know if you stuttered or if you got it right. I wasn't sure.
Sylvia. I'm probably still wrong, but anyway, that's the closest I can get.
Close enough. I'll tell you what, I'll make a motion for approval.
What did you say, John? What was the name?
Like one of my wife's aunts, Aunt Capitola, but there aren't too many Capitolas or Sobadillas around either.
That is a good. Motion. Second.
Motion to do what, John?
To approve the
With
Manton
resol-
Bridge naming and affirmation
For
project.
who? What's the name?
Doesn't matter, I've made the motion.
Both of them?
Yes. Thank you, let's move forward.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Okay, the other part of that was, upon clarification, was to approve the resolution acknowledging the Toyota Gosai afforestation project coming up on the 23rd. So,
Gotcha.
okay, item number 7 is first reading, and County Attorney Mattingly might speak to this briefly. We do have, I guess, because of the changes in the law at the state level, the amending for one, the name of some of the licenses, non-quota, and the amounts that were under the old rules and adopted in our previous ordinance, updating our ordinance to align with the state and stay in compliance. Joe, is there anything else you wanted to add to that?
No, there may be an amendment before the second reading of that, simply because under that new legislation there, even though this ordinance provides for the permissible fees for folks who are applying for various licenses, if you're already charging for that license, you can't increase the fee by more than a certain percentage. To compare what the current licenses are with what the new licenses are, because some of them are sort of crossed over, to figure out which of these fees have to be adjusted downward. So hopefully we'll have that by the second reading and we can get this passed.
Yeah.
A lot of these licenses are up for renewal in April, I think, or sometime in April.
They put the whole state on a renewal schedule, and I think Marion County is in that rotation where actually in the month of April, most of our licensees have to reapply for renewal. So this can kind of merge with that, I guess.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Okay, Mr. Lee, have a nice report there, and I guess, you have anything you want to add to that?
Well, I do need the approval to hire, fill those positions.
What is that, 2 positions?
Yeah, and actually Larry Violet's part-time position needs to be filled pretty soon too, because there's a lot more activity out there in warmer weather, and that's right on.
So actually what you're looking for is to replace the 2 existing, or the 2 full-time positions and the 1 part-time.
Yeah, one CDL, and one doesn't have to be CDL.
Okay.
And then 1 part-time.
Approved.
Yes,
Second.
there you go.
Mr. Masterson?
Yes.
Mr. Smothers?
Yes.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Judge, did you get that paper I gave you? John Beard's request?
Yeah.
Like to ask the board to.
I didn't make copies of that. It was in my pile from yesterday, but,
One copy.
well, it was basic.
Requested to be moved from the road department to the sanitation department on Chuck House truck. And that's, I'm good with that. Would like to-
Motion to approve?
Second.
I mean, I don't think actually it takes a
Thought it was
motion.
really
That's-
just kind of
Probably
an
don't need a
internal
motion, do you?
decision, but
Yeah, excuse me.
Moving in-house.
Yeah.
I called Morton's, but they don't answer the phone anymore, so.
Oh, I don't.
Morton's knows.
I'd say they're in Jamaica or Sweden with all their money. Dang.
okay, your last paragraph in your report concerned potential for going ahead and getting another truck like we did this past year. We, in our rotation, we typically put a pretty major capital investment for a sanitation or road vehicle, and I guess looking at what you've got, we just ordered the dump truck off the state bid price, which would count for this year's, I guess, capital investment, but looking forward to what we are going to allocate, and assuming that we do that on the same rotation that we've been doing, I guess what you're trying to give us a heads up with is that that truck may be available now if we go ahead and commit to it, and even if we don't accept order or delivery of it or have to pay for it after July 1, right?
And he was, the salesman was supposed to get back with the prices, and I haven't got them yet, the exact price. I mean, it's gonna be around 125, I think.
That's what the one last year.
That's a sanitation truck or?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
garbage truck. Which we skipped a few years here a while back, and I kind of put in there what we're running. You know, we've got like a 9-year-old truck.
So it's got 87,000 miles, something like, the 9-year-old, does it have 87,000 miles?
Yeah, but it's
So-
all tank.
Town, right.
That's just like the number 22 that I was wanting to move to town. It's got 80 on it now, but it won't accumulate many miles in town.
Slow it down on it.
Yeah.
Okay, do you need action, or you just want to just go ahead and get the price on that and then try to report
Yeah, I
at the
don't-
next meeting?
I
I
don't-
can have you a price on it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to take action until we get pricing, so.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to, but that ain't gonna happen, I don't think.
Well, I don't have anything to sell.
Yeah, I just got a question, I know that, of course, I see where, an individual left and so, or was removed and so forth. A couple of things I want to bring up, is that, County Attorney, I wanted to find out where we stood with our drug test, because, again, one of the problems I've got with the policy of the county in regards to drug testing is that we have employees that, last year, for example, I know of employees that tested 5, 6, 7, 8 times in 1 year, believe it or not. 6, 7, 8 times in 1 year. Then we've got other employees that have been with us 3, 4, 5, 6 years who've never been tested.
That's not supposed to happen according to the agreement we have with the
Well,
drug testing entity. Is supposed
That
to
money,
make sure.
that money wasn't supposed to be commingled with the Board of Education either, but, stuff happens, so.
Well, we just need to make sure that they are,
Well, I guess my,
and all our employees, at least on an annual basis.
right, well, there you go, and that's what I'm saying is that, and I think we discussed this, is that we do need to move forward, and we need to get something settled in concrete, but my thought is, outside looking in, and I know the court, we'd all agree to, I don't care, but, is that I think every employee should be drug tested at least once a year. With that being said, obviously the judge has the right at any time for any concern to call in an employee for drug testing, okay? So I think that we need to address that issue because it's not right, it's not fair. It seems that the same people are tested over and over, and maybe if we had a more specific and laid out plan, then we wouldn't run into some of the issues we have, okay? I think it would be better and it's fair across the board. So, I'd like to know what the court thinks
I
about
think we
that.
talked about this a couple years ago.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
we
the
did.
language
actually-
was reviewed at that
I have a
time.
problem with annual testing, random, but everybody should be tested.
That's correct. That's correct.
But you still have to keep it, I think it's on a computer, is that right, a computer drive? Is that the way they do it? still have,
Well, right now, I think they pull out of the same computer, you know, they got 5 or 6 names in it, you know?
but you still have.
Well,
Like they're the same.
I don't have.
well, you know what, here's the thing, is that, it's just not right. I mean, you've got, you know, Mr. Cochran, how long have you been here?
7 years,
And how many times have you been tested?
3.
See, there you go, you know, so.
But what I'm saying,
Sheriff, how many times have you been tested last year? Yeah, there you go. So, and here's the point, is that everybody should be tested, do it fair, and move on. Can you write us up,
Actually think I've already got something on that. But probably, you know, it's a matter of how we adopt that as a policy, or, you know, I don't know that we want to dictate in the ordinance the specifics of how the drug testing program runs, because if they change, then you got to go through that whole process.
No, I understand, but-
But I think we do have something that I can.
and you can make that, we can make that manageable.
but if you test one in January,
Okay, thank you.
then they're free for the rest of the year if you don't keep it to where
Random.
you
Well,
have
you
to
can
call
pull
it.
at random, but
Well,
then
it's still random,
Right.
and again, the judge, if the
Anybody
judge,
expected-
as basically CEO of the county, if the judge feels as he has a, whether it be any employee, that EMS, road department, whatever, that he, you know, he has that right to pull that. Or if Tommy comes to him, or if Robbie comes to him and
Well,
has a
maybe we need to
concern.
put something else in, maybe at least once a year.
Well, I think that's what we
Yeah,
had, though. We
Well, that's
talked
what
about
we're
this 2
saying,
years.
that's what we said, at least once a year.
Right.
Agreement, but
Not just
evidently it's
once a
not
year,
being
but at
enforced.
least once a
Yeah,
year.
it's not.
Everyone should
And you're
be
right,
tested.
that's the problem, is that,
The language is there.
yeah, that's part of the problem, is that I think the agency that we have providing the service. But anyway, I think we just need to get on a level plane with it and be fair to all the employees and, you know, move on and move on past it.
Most of them too are automatically after any kind of a accident, I don't know how serious
Oh,
they're
that's mandated, yeah.
mandated after an accident of some type or,
All work on Thomas.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Tommy.
Hey, Keith, good report. Information about our litter abatement and road miles. The updated list that's on the back of this dealing with our road name changes. You all have a chance to review that. These are being forwarded to Mike Robinson, integrated into our road mapping, and of course, the post office has been doing the actual assignment of the new addresses, so that's working out fine. Have anything else you need to add, Mr. Brown?
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Oh, real quick, back to Tommy, I got a thank you from the Jim Brown Road Hill where they trimmed those trees. They want me to pass that along to you. I forgot, sorry.
Question and put Barry through the Great Inquisition. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Brady.